get thrown away. Don't do it. Eat it. It's lovely. So have a good rummage around in it, and for goodness sake, don't throw any of the middle bits away, because you can actually use everything from the pumpkin, including the seeds, which are absolutely gorgeous. You put a little bit of salt, a little sprinkle of honey, and toast them off. You've got a really crunchy and yummy snack. Now, the inside, we're actually going to pan roast. So it's going to go into the oven for just a while, and it's going to come out in a little while, and it will be absolutely delicious. And it's from that we're going to actually make our pumpkin soup. Now I'm just going to put check on one of the trays of pumpkin, because out of one pumpkin you've got loads and loads and loads of flesh. And this is why it should never be wasted. Oh, if we get a smell-o-vision now, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put it down because it's really heavy and extremely hot. Fortunately, I did put myself a dish here so I can take it out of this very hot pan. I'm going to pop it onto a platter so it'll cool quicker. Go and sit next to the dough, ready to cool. Don't waste anything, get it all out. Now that is probably on this platter about a third of the pumpkin itself. Okay, we've got some of the pumpkin flesh, which as you can see is a lovely, fantastic colour, and we're going to actually make a pumpkin soup. Again, it's really easy. You only need a few ingredients, and I'll walk you through the entire thing. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put some oil into, I use quite a large pot, but it depends how much you're actually going to make. So I'm going to give a good scattering of oil. I'm going to put my pot on low, and hopefully by the time I've cut up some onion, it'll be ready to go into the pot. So I'll just move my nice vegetable stock out of the way, and we'll make a start. Be careful with your cutting onions. There is a way of doing it. The way I prefer is simply take the top off first, turn it so it's flat side down, find the exact middle of the onion, and then chop down carefully. Put your knife down and just take away the outside layer or two. So you're leaving the root on, because if you leave the root on, when it comes to cut the onion, it'll hold it together for you and you're less likely to cut your fingers. So again, these are lovely fresh onions, and I keep having to say, Pavland Farm, you have the best pumpkins in the world. So we're going to make a start. Put everything to one side. As you can see, it's perfectly solid. Root on. And basically, keep your fingers slightly curved, and if anything, cut slightly at an angle away from you. That way, you're not going to actually cut your fingers. And there's no point in speeding. This isn't any speed competition of cutting. You just carry on as you would normally cutting an onion, but very carefully. Okay, we've chopped one of the onions, so let's get a start, and into the pan it's going to go. Put the temperature up a little bit, and then get on with cutting the others, which is quite boring, so you don't need to look at that bit. Let's start making the magic happen. We've got some absolutely gorgeous sauteing onions, to which we're going to add our lovely pumpkin pieces, and up we go. Juice and all. Right, we're going to mix them together. Oh, the colour's gorgeous. They're going to get even nicer in a minute, because I'm going to add on a tin of chopped tomatoes. Now you can add as much chopped tomato as you want, but I'm just going with the one today because I haven't used the full amount of the pumpkin. And so you've still got quite a lot. It's a very big pumpkin, so I've made enough to actually freeze an amount so we can have pumpkin soup for the next few weeks. Now we're getting closer to the action. On top of that, I'm adding a little vegetable stock. You don't want to go to berserk, so just enough to cover the entire pumpkin pieces. Okay, and again, stir them all together. Just another secret bit of spice. It's a little mixture of some ground garlic and some smoked paprika. It'll give it a lovely depth of flavour. So I'm going to put in 2 spoons. And you'll notice I haven't added salt yet, for the simple reason I don't know how much we'll need until towards the end, and then we'll flavour to taste, as well as adding the naughty part of it, which is double cream. And basically, it's lid on and forget about it for at least 45 minutes. It's time to put the final touches to our lovely pumpkin soup, and let's just reveal what we've got so far. Look at the colours on that. That smells absolutely gorgeous. And of course, bearing in mind it is Halloween, therefore we have to be naughty. I'm going to add some rather splendid plain yoghurt. A good few dollops. And this, of course, you don't have to put in if you're going to do a vegan recipe, but if you're veggie, it's a jolly nice thing to add. And then continuing our naughtiness, we're going to go in with cream. This is where the magic really happens. Give it a good stir. At this point, feel free to throw in any back swings you desire. Please don't. As you can see, it's getting to be the most glorious colour, which you won't actually see until I blitz the entire bowl. Let's pop that down. Get my faithful blitzer. If you're using one of these, make sure it's in before you turn it on. Otherwise, you tend to get splattered pumpkin everywhere. And basically, that is it. We've got a delicious pumpkin soup.